Okay, as I visit this website, the zapatopi.net/tree octopus, my initial observations are that it seems to have some helpful graphics and a lot of information for someone to use if they were researching. However, I find it to be a very odd topic, and I'm having some doubts about its validity and if this is a real organism. As I read through the information, the Pacific Northwest tree octopus, Octopus paxarobolus, can be found in the temperate rainforest of the Olympic Peninsula. Now, I do know the Olympic Peninsula is a real place, and I do know that there are temperate rainforests on the west coast of North America, but I'm still having doubts that this organism lives there in the trees. It seems that this information has some scientific base. It seems like there are a scientific name. I know this could be a genus and a species. Okay, it's definitely well written with words like inquisitive. This person does sound like they may know what they're talking about. There's pictures of this organism. Okay, here's a map where the tree octopus live, but they're endangered. Okay, it's not officially on the endangered species list. I wonder why. Okay, so one of the first steps to determining if a source is valid would be to look at the ending of the website, and I see that it ends in .net, which doesn't necessarily mean that it comes from an educational source if it was .edu or if it was from an official organization, if it had .org, or if it was a government site, which I would think would have to do with endangered species, which would be .gov. .net means that it's just part of a network, so it doesn't necessarily mean that this is coming from a valid source of information. So I'm going to continue to look through the website and see if I can find out who the author is, who owns this site, and how this information is being presented. Okay, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the website, see if I can see if there's an author or a copyright date or a publisher. Okay, it says the author of this article and its subsection is Lily Zapato. It is not associated with any school or educational organization. That is definitely a red flag, other than the Kelvinic University branch. Okay, I'm going to click on some of these links to see if they bring me somewhere that will tell me if this source is credible. So I'm going to click on the author of the article. Okay, this brings me to a source for conspiracies, which really tells me that this information is probably not valid. Although if I didn't click on the link, then I probably would not have definitely known that this was not correct information. Okay, as I'm looking through some of the articles also by the same author as the information about the octopus, I'm finding some other bizarre articles such as Belgium does not exist, psycho-chalking, a hobo language for paranoids. So it really seems to me that this author is not really credible in any specific area, especially with endangered species. So I'm going to go back to the original website and see if I can find out a little bit more information and really determine if this is a credible source to be using. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on the facts link. Recently asked questions. Going to see if this gives me any information. I also noticed that some of the other links just took me to Wikipedia, which I know is not a valid source of information. Okay, now based on this information below, when somebody asks, how can I donate money to help these tree octopus that are supposedly endangered, The answer is they can ease their conscience and just go to the actual Olympic Peninsula, ask your parents first, and go to the octopus's tree and hold out a dollar bill. Now, this does not seem uh, probable, possible, or really like something that would occur. So this is really telling me that this is not a valid source of information based on the source of information when I went to see the author. When I looked through some of the other articles written by this author, it seems like that this person writes about conspiracies, and this is absolutely not a source of information that I would want to be using if I was writing a research report, if I was looking for valid information on endangered species. This does not seem to be a real organism. Okay, so based on the strategies that I've used by looking through the website and clicking on other links, I have determined that this is not a credible source of information.